The most interesting thing you can do to yourself as a trader is feel the loss. Every time you feel a loss with pain, suffering, or that feeling like something just happened to you, you're creating an imprint on your subconscious. Now, you don't need to understand what the subconscious is. Just think of it like a place inside your mind, inside your personality, maybe even inside your soul. Every time you lose with that negative feeling, you are curving something into that place. You are making an imprint, a memory, and it's linked to that bad emotion. And the more time you lose with that emotion, the more you're going to become afraid of losing. Now let's talk about the snowball effect. That's why a lot of traders, beginners, even intermediate ones, ends up failing or quitting because every time they lose, they feel it, they suffer, and the subconscious connects that feeling to the act of losing. The next time they enter a trade, the fear gets stronger. It's like a snowball. You are stacking fear, scarcity, the feeling of lack, and this snowball keeps growing until one day it's too heavy to carry. So you tell yourself, I'm just gonna take a break, I'll stop trading for a month, maybe this isn't for me. But here's the truth, the snowball stays. Even if you come back in a year or two, the fear is still there. So what do? How do we neutralize this snowball? Step 1. You start accepting wins with gratitude. That's your antidote. Every time you win, you feel yourself with a deep sense of gratitude. But that's not enough by itself, because the snowball wasn't built by wins, it was built by losses. So how do you dissolve that? So here's the drill. Right before you go to sleep, when your eyes are closing, when you're drowsy, drifting off, and right after you wake up, when your mind is soft and open, you start imagining yourself trading, and you imagine yourself losing. Yes, losing. But here's the key. You feel the same gratitude you felt when you won. You start training yourself to feel gratitude for the loss. How do you do that? You're grateful for the loss because it taught you what not to do. You're grateful because it's part of the game. You're grateful because what matters is your net wins at the end of the month, not one trade. You're grateful because if your risk reward is solid, you'll be profitable anyway. You're grateful because you know that learning to lose without fear is a superpower, especially for traders. You're grateful because you are building emotional immunity. You're grateful because it's part of your ritual. You do this every day for a month, before sleep and after waking up. That's how you dissolve the snowball of fear. Now, once you practice this in your imagination, you take it to the real world. Every time you lose a real trade, you immediately associate it with a good feeling. No suffering, no guilt, no self-hate. Never feel bad when you lose, never. After a while, your mind gets used to it. You start to associate loss with gratitude, and then the fear dissolves automatically. And this right here is when your leverage starts, because now trading real money feels like demo, and we all know we trade better on demo. And why? Because there is no fear, no emotional risk, no money involved. So you remember, every time you lose, you feel good. That's the only way to stop the snowball. That's the only way to dissolve fear. That's the only way to become a profitable trader. And that's the real edge. This drill, this practice is going to give you a massive leverage over every other trader out there, even the pros. And when it kicks in, you won't believe what's gonna happen next. Catch you later, guys.